Episode number 207. The four philosophers looked at one another in a state of bewilderment. The three will never jested in matters relating to discipline. And what do you reckon your outfit will cost? Said D'Artagnan. Oh, we can scarcely say. We have made a calculations with Spartan economy, and we each require 1,500 livres. 4 times 15 makes 66,000 livres, said Athos. It seems to me, said D'Artagnan, with 1,000 livres each, I do not speak as a Spartan, but as a procurator. This word procurator roused Porthos. Stop, said he, I have an idea. Well, that's something, for I have not the shadow of one, said Athos coolly. But as to D'Artagnan, gentlemen, the idea of belonging to us has driven him out of his senses. 1,000 livres. For my part, I declare I want 2,000. 4 times 2 makes 8, then said Aramis. It is 8,000 that we want to complete our outfits, toward which, it is true, we have already the saddles. Besides, said Athos, waiting till D'Artagnan, who went to thank Monsieur de Tréville, had shut the door. Besides, there is that beautiful ring, which beams from the finger of a friend. What the devil? D'Artagnan is too good a comrade to leave his brothers in embarrassment, while he wears the ransom of a king on his finger. 29. Hunting for the equipments. The most preoccupied of the four friends was certainly D'Artagnan, although he, in his quality of guardsman, would be much more easily equipped than Messieurs the Musketeers, who were all of high rank. But a Gascon cadet was, as may have been observed, of a provident, and almost avaricious character, and with that, explains the contradiction, so vain as almost to rival Porthos. To this preoccupation of his vanity, D'Artagnan at this moment joined an uneasiness much less selfish. Notwithstanding all his inquiries respecting Mme Bonacieux, he could obtain no intelligence of her. De Tréville had spoken of her to the Queen. The Queen was ignorant where the Mercer's young wife was, but had promised to have her sought for. But this promise was very vague, and did not at all reassure D'Artagnan. Athos did not leave his chamber. He made up his mind not to take a single step to equip himself. We have still 15 days before us, said he to his friends. Well, if at the end of a fortnight I have found nothing, or rather, if nothing has come to find me, as I, too good a Catholic to kill myself with a pistol bullet, I will seek a good quarrel with 4 of his Eminence's guards, or with 8 Englishmen, and I will fight until one of them has killed me, which, considering the number, cannot fail to happen. It will then be said of me that I died for the king, so that I shall have performed my duty without the expense of an outfit. Porthos continued to walk about with his hands behind him, tossing his head, and repeating, I shall follow upon my idea. Aramis, anxious and negligently dressed, said nothing. It may be seen by these disastrous details that desolation reigned in the community. The lackeys on their part, like the coursers of Hippolytus, shared the sadness of their masters. Mousqueton collected a store of crusts. Bazin, who had always been inclined to devotion, never quit the churches. Planchet watched the flight of flies, and Grimaud, whom the general distress could not induce to break the silence imposed by his master, heaved sighs enough to soften the stones.